Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, I stand before you today to share a powerful yet simple truth. Move in silence. In a world where everyone wants to be seen, heard, and validated, there's something deeply liberating about choosing to move in silence. There's a strength in quiet, a wisdom that doesn't always shout to be recognized. In fact, I believe that silence is the birthplace of strength, growth, and success. We live in a time where social media is our second home, where validation is only a click away, and where everyone is eager to showcase their every move. But the truth is, there's an extraordinary power in doing the work and letting the results speak for themselves. There's a beauty in letting your actions reveal who you are. You don't need to announce your goals to the world every time you take a step. You don't need to tell everyone your plans, your dreams, your struggles. The world doesn't need to see every twist and turn of your journey. Sometimes the quietest steps lead to the greatest impact. Move in silence means letting your work and your results be your voice. It means focusing on what's in your control, your effort, your discipline, your heart, and not allowing the noise around you to distract you from the path you've chosen. It's about the art of trusting the process without needing to prove anything to anyone. I know the pressure, I know the feeling of wanting to prove your worth, to show others that you're capable, to let them know you've got big dreams. But I want to challenge you today. Instead of telling them, show them. Instead of rushing to share your next move, take the time to perfect it in silence. Let your progress speak louder than your announcements ever could. When you move in silence, you're not waiting for applause. You're not waiting for someone to recognize your hustle. You're simply building the foundation of something great, piece by piece, with intention and purpose. And trust me, when the time is right, the world will notice. Your results will be so loud that they'll speak for themselves. I've learned that not everyone is meant to know your next move. Not everyone is meant to see the blueprint of your life before you've even laid the first brick. Not everyone needs to understand the journey you're on, because often those who don't understand will try to discourage you. But you don't need validation from others. You need belief in yourself. Remember, the loudest rooms are not always the most effective. The most successful people often work in silence. And when their work is done, they rise and shine. The world notices them not because they ask for attention, but because their results speak so loudly they can't be ignored. So, move in silence. Build your empire quietly. Let your actions, your growth, your commitment to excellence do all the talking for you. Stay focused, stay grounded. And when it's time to speak, let your results speak louder than words. Move in silence. Let your greatness unfold before the world without announcing it. Your silence is not weakness, it's strength, and it's in that silence that your power grows. Trusting the process is one of the most vital aspects of any journey. It's about having the patience and the belief that no matter how long it takes, the work you put in will eventually yield results. In today's world, we often find ourselves in a rush, trying to reach success in the fastest, most visible way possible. We want immediate gratification, quick wins, and recognition. But when you trust the process, you acknowledge that success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a series of small, often unseen steps that lead to the bigger picture. Trusting the process means letting go of the desire for instant results. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't happen as quickly as we want them to. But if you understand that success is built over time, you learn to embrace the journey rather than focusing on the end result. When you trust the process, you understand that every step, no matter how small, contributes to the greater vision. Trusting the process also requires faith in your abilities, in your vision, and in the steps you're taking. Sometimes the results aren't immediately visible, and it can feel like you're putting in effort without seeing much progress. But real growth often happens behind the scenes in ways that aren't immediately apparent. It's during these moments of unseen effort that your character is built, your skills are sharpened, and your resilience is tested. In the fast-paced world we live in, we can easily get distracted by what others are doing. We see their success and begin to question our own path. It's important to remember that their process is not your process. Comparing your journey to someone else's can lead to frustration and doubt. Everyone moves at their own pace. And just because it appears that someone else has reached their destination quicker, it doesn't mean you're falling behind. Trusting your process means resisting the temptation to measure your progress by someone else's standard. The process is often a winding road, full of detours, setbacks, and unexpected turns. It's not always linear, and it's certainly not always easy. There will be moments when you question whether it's worth it, whether the struggle will ever end, and whether you're on the right path at all. But these moments are part of the process. They are the trials that refine you, that teach you perseverance, and that build your strength. The most successful individuals didn't get to where they are by avoiding challenges. They faced them head on and learned from each obstacle they encountered. One of the key elements of trusting the process is having the courage to keep going even when you don't see immediate results. It's about believing that the hard work you put in today will pay off in the future, even if you can't see how just yet. There are no shortcuts to greatness. You cannot skip the hard work, the learning, or the setbacks. They are all part of the recipe for success. And when you trust the process, you understand that these things are necessary ingredients that shape you into the person you need to be to reach your goals. It's also important to recognize that trusting the process doesn't mean being passive. It doesn't mean waiting for success to fall into your lap or expecting the world to hand you what you want. It means committing to the work even when it's difficult and continuing to move forward no matter the obstacles. It's about putting in the effort consistently and knowing that while the timing may not always be within your control, your dedication and commitment will always bring you closer to where you want to be. When you trust the process, you're not just focused on the end goal. You also focus on how each step, each challenge, and each lesson is shaping you into the person you're becoming. Success is not only measured by the outcome, but by the transformation you undergo as you move toward it. Trusting the process is a mindset that allows you to embrace the journey fully, knowing that every twist and turn is contributing to your growth. The end result may be what you desire, but it is the process that truly shapes who you are. Letting your results speak is one of the most powerful ways to communicate your value and your success. In a world where everyone is eager to share their opinions, ideas, and plans, there is something profoundly impactful about letting your work speak for itself. The loudest voice is not always the one that shouts the most. Often, the most profound and influential voice is the one that simply exists through its actions. When you let your results speak, you allow your accomplishments to stand as a testament to your efforts, your skills, and your determination. It means putting in the work quietly and consistently, trusting that the impact of your actions will be visible in the end. It's not about broadcasting every step you take, every idea you have, or every decision you make. It's about showing up, doing the work, and letting the outcome reveal the truth of your commitment. In a society that is often obsessed with appearances and instant visibility, there's a deep sense of peace in taking a step back and focusing solely on the results. We often feel compelled to announce our every move, to share our progress at every stage. But the truth is, the most meaningful results are often those that come from relentless dedication, without the need for constant recognition. When you let your results speak, you stop looking for approval or validation from others, and instead focus solely on the work itself. The results you achieve, no matter how big or small, will always be a reflection of the effort you've put in. You don't need to constantly tell people about your plans, your dreams, or your struggles. You don't need to provide a running commentary on everything you're doing. The impact you make in the world is far more powerful when it's the outcome of your quiet dedication and hard work. This is where true success lies, not in the applause you get, but in the change you create through your actions. Furthermore, when you let your results speak, you create a sense of mystery and intrigue around what you're doing. People may not fully understand what you're working on or how you're doing it, but when the results manifest, they will take notice. There's a certain allure to quietly achieving your goals without broadcasting every step. It draws people in, not because of what you've said, but because of what you've accomplished. Your results become the story, and people are naturally curious about the journey that led to such success. This approach also eliminates the need to justify or explain yourself to others. How many times have you found yourself over-explaining your choices, your path, or your decisions to others? The truth is, when you let your results speak, you don't owe anyone an explanation. Your actions will show the world what you're capable of without the need for words. When your results speak for you, there's no need to defend your work because the proof is in what you've accomplished. This allows you to move with confidence and a quiet assurance, knowing that what you're doing is making an impact, even if no one else sees it right away. Letting your results speak also requires a mindset shift. It's about focusing on the long-term picture rather than the short-term praise. It means being okay with the process and trusting that the outcome will be worth the wait. The temptation to shout about your achievements along the way can be strong, but if you hold off and let the results speak for themselves, they will carry far more weight than any words you could use. This approach builds credibility and respect over time because people will begin to recognize you not for what you say, but for what you do. When you consistently let your results speak, you begin to build a reputation based on the quality of your work and the impact you've made, not just the noise you create around it. It's about demonstrating rather than telling the value you bring to the table. Over time, your results will create a legacy of success that speaks volumes about your character, your work ethic, and your vision. This quiet confidence, built on the foundation of solid results, is what truly sets you apart in a world full of noise and distractions. Silence is often misunderstood as passivity or weakness, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful tools you can possess. In a world where everyone seems to be shouting to be heard, there is something profoundly impactful about embracing silence. Silence is not the absence of action or thought. Rather, it is the space where growth happens, where reflection takes place, and where clarity is found. It is in those quiet moments that you are able to recalibrate, refocus, and gather the strength necessary to continue on your journey. In the midst of noise and chaos, silence provides you with the opportunity to hear your own thoughts, to listen to your inner voice, and to understand the deeper purpose behind your actions. It is easy to get caught up in the noise around you, whether it's the constant buzz of social media, the opinions of others, or the pressure to constantly perform. But when you embrace silence, you allow yourself the time and space to reflect on your intentions, your goals, and the path you are on. This is where true clarity comes from. It's in the quiet moments that you can make decisions that are aligned with your purpose, rather than being driven by external expectations or fleeting trends. Silence also has a way of fostering discipline. In the absence of constant distractions, you are forced to rely on your own focus and motivation. There are no external forces pushing you to take the next step, no immediate feedback from the outside world telling you whether you are on the right track. Instead, you learn to trust your own instincts, to push yourself even when no one else is watching. This kind of self-discipline is invaluable because it helps you cultivate the internal strength necessary to persist, even when the journey becomes difficult or when progress seems slow. When you embrace silence, you also begin to recognize the value of space. Space to think, to process, and to grow. In a culture that glorifies busyness, It can be hard to find the time for true reflection. We are often so caught up in doing that we forget to simply be. Silence allows you to disconnect from the constant pressure of doing and reconnect with the essence of who you are. It's in those quiet moments that you can realign with your deeper purpose, reconsider your priorities, and evaluate whether the path you are on is still the right one for you. This kind of introspection is essential for long-term success because it ensures that you are always moving with intention, not just out of habit or external expectation. Moreover, silence gives you the opportunity to observe. When you are constantly talking, performing, or trying to be seen, you miss the chance to truly observe the world around you. Silence allows you to take in the subtleties, to notice the small details that can lead to greater understanding and insight. In silence, you can observe how things are unfolding, what changes need to be made, and where you can step up your efforts. It's often in the quiet that you gain the most valuable insights, not just about the world, but about yourself and your journey. The power of silence also lies in its ability to protect your energy. In a world that constantly demands your attention and validation, silence serves as a shield, allowing you to conserve your energy for the things that truly matter. Instead of spending time explaining yourself, defending your actions, or engaging in unnecessary conflicts, you can focus on what truly moves you forward. Silence helps you stay grounded, to stay focused on your goals without getting lost in the noise that surrounds you. It helps you preserve your emotional and mental resources for the work that will bring about real change. In many ways, silence is a form of strength. It's a quiet strength that doesn't need to be validated by external noise or constant recognition. It's the strength to continue moving forward even when no one else is watching. It's the strength to trust in your own process, to trust in the work you're doing, and to trust that your efforts will eventually bear fruit. In silence, you are not weak. You are powerful beyond measure because you have chosen to focus on what matters most, to cultivate your inner strength, and to trust in your ability to create meaningful change in the world. Silence is not about shutting the world out. It's about creating the space to truly listen, to reflect, and to grow. It's about stepping back from the noise to reconnect with your purpose, to observe, and to protect your energy. In that space of quiet, you find your strength, your clarity, and your power. Proving through progress is one of the most reliable and fulfilling ways to demonstrate your value, abilities, and dedication. In a world that often seeks immediate results and instant validation, the idea of proving yourself solely through progress can feel like a slow and uncertain path. However, it's this approach that allows you to build something solid, meaningful, and lasting. By focusing on progress instead of seeking approval or recognition, you create a foundation that is not only resilient, but also genuine. When you prove through progress, you stop relying on external validation to define your worth. It's easy to fall into the trap of needing others to recognize your efforts, to applaud your every move, or to affirm your journey. But when you prove yourself through progress, you no longer need that outside validation. Your results, even if small or incremental, are the proof of your hard work and dedication. This approach shifts the focus from external opinions to internal growth. As you continue to make progress, even in small steps, you create a momentum that becomes undeniable. Your consistent effort and forward movement speak for themselves, allowing you to stay grounded in your work rather than seeking recognition for every milestone. Proving through progress also means embracing the journey. Too often we become fixated on the end goal, thinking that success can only be measured when we reach the finish line. However, success is not just a destination, it's the path itself. Every step you take, every challenge you overcome, and every lesson you learn along the way is a part of the process that defines your progress. When you focus on proving through progress, you learn to celebrate the small victories, the moments of growth that might otherwise go unnoticed. These moments may seem insignificant in isolation, but when pieced together, they form a narrative of perseverance and strength. By proving through progress, you honor the work and effort you put in each day, regardless of how far you still have to go. Another aspect of proving through progress is the ability to stay patient. Progress takes time, and when you stop seeking instant results or immediate rewards, you free yourself from the pressure to perform at someone else's pace. The road to success is not always straightforward, and it's often filled with obstacles, setbacks, and detours. However, the ability to persevere and continue moving forward, no matter how slowly, is what sets you apart. Patience is not about waiting idly. It's about trusting in the process and having the strength to keep going even when the path is unclear. With every step forward, you build confidence, not in the external recognition, but in your own ability to keep pushing through and making progress, no matter the circumstances. Proving through progress also teaches you the value of consistency. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well or when the results are immediately visible. But true success comes from the ability to stay consistent, even when the results aren't yet apparent. Consistency builds discipline, and discipline creates habits. These habits form the foundation of long-term success. Each time you commit to taking one more step forward, even when you're unsure of the outcome, you're reinforcing your dedication to your goal. Over time, these small actions accumulate into significant progress that cannot be ignored. Consistency is the quiet force that propels you forward, allowing you to achieve what others might consider impossible because you've kept going step by step, day by day. Proving through progress also helps you develop resilience. Every setback, mistake, and failure you encounter along the way is an opportunity for growth. When you focus on progress, you don't view failure as an end, but as a necessary part of the journey. It's through these challenges that you learn the most about yourself and your capabilities. Resilience is built through the willingness to keep moving forward, even when things don't go as planned. With every challenge you face and every obstacle you overcome, you strengthen your character and your resolve. The more you prove through progress, the more you develop a mindset that embraces challenges as stepping stones toward your goals. The beauty of proving through progress lies in the fact that it's sustainable. Unlike fleeting moments of success that are often built on luck or external circumstances, progress is something that you can create, shape, and maintain over time. Each